I thank the representative of the UK. Now I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Distinguished co-chairs, we welcome the initiative of our friends from China and Pakistan to discuss the issue of the non-implementation of Security Council resolutions and its impact on the maintenance of international peace and security. This is indeed a far-reaching and a pressing problem. It has been worsening year after year, inflicting serious damage on the world order founded on the UN Charter and other norms of international law. Russia consistently upholds the principle of good faith implementation of Council resolutions. It is telling that today we find ourselves having to reaffirm their binding nature, as well as the exclusive prerogatives of the Security Council in matters of maintaining international peace and security. Still fresh in our memory are the remarks made by the U.S. permanent representative under the previous administration, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, in March 2024, to the effect that compliance with Security Council decisions could be disregarded for political purposes. Needless to say, no international order is possible if states were to follow that harmful council. One need not look far for concrete examples of bad faith in the implementation of Security Council decisions. As soon as Resolution 2202 was adopted in 2015, endorsing the package of measures for the implementation of the Minsk Agreements, its implementation was immediately rejected by the Ukrainian side, the EU, and the United States. Kiev's Western allies subsequently admitted that these agreements had in reality served only to prepare the Ukrainian side for war with Russia, while simultaneously misleading the international community. The outcome of that policy is well known. Security Council Resolution 1244 from 1999, setting out the principles for a Kosovo settlement, continues to be ignored 27 years on by both Pristina and its Western patrons alike. Against this backdrop, in contravention of the Security Council's decision, Pristina is stepping up efforts to create a full-fledged army and to accelerate integration into NATO with destructive consequences for the Balkan sub-region. Fundamental Security Council resolutions on the Middle East settlement, particularly Resolution 242 and 338, are effectively being nullified. The prospect of two states is being eroded. Israel continues to control the greater part of the territories seized during earlier wars and the recent escalation, including the perimeter of East Jerusalem. Having seized the mediation initiative, the Board of Peace is effectively eliminating any further UN role in the Middle East process, which fundamentally contradicts the basic parameters for peace in the region. Another glaring example of blatant disregard for Security Council resolutions is the legal and procedural abuse perpetrated by Western countries on the matter of the Iranian nuclear program. At first, they pursued the course of obstructing the implementation of Resolution 2231. Then the UK, France, and Germany, without any justification or legal basis to do so, made an unsuccessful attempt to trigger the snapback mechanism provided by that resolution. As a result, the Security Council has found itself in a procedural crisis from which it has yet to extricate itself. Distinguished co-chairs, when discussing the issue of non-implementation of Security Council resolutions at the present stage, one cannot overlook the issue of goal setting and the enforceability of certain decisions at the drafting stage. We are increasingly witnessing draft resolutions that are detached from reality in their substance, have not been coordinated with key implementing actors, are confrontational in nature, and contain irrelevant objectives. Such documents do not contribute to the achievement of sustainable outcomes. As a result, the Council receives yet another round of criticism for inaction and ineffectiveness, which undermines its credibility in the eyes of the international community. It has notably become the norm for Security Council members belonging to the Western camp, penholders belonging to the Western camp, to refuse to seek compromise on critical peace and security issues. Taking advantage of their strength in numbers within the body, they often make no effort to find common ground in order to achieve unanimous decisions. But are Security Council decisions adopted in this matter actually implemented? As practice shows, decisions not adopted by consensus are often problematic at the implementation stage. All of this is one of the key arguments in favor of reforming the Security Council in a way that would increase the representation of developing countries within it. Russia is convinced that the difficulties associated with ensuring the implementation of Security Council resolutions are significant, but they are surmountable with political will. The solution lies in establishing constructive engagement that takes into account the core interests of the key actors at the stage of working out solutions and in strict adherence to Council decisions. Following such an approach would be the best example of implementing the UN Charter, the anniversary of whose signing we will be marking on June 26th. Thank you for your attention.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation. Now I give the floor to the representative of Somalia.
Thank you, co-chairs. Somalia thanks China and Pakistan for convening this timely and critically important Area Formula meeting, which cuts directly to the core of our shared multilateral responsibilities and the integrity of the Council's work. We also thank the briefers for their valuable contributions. The Security Council is often described as the cornerstone of international peace and security. Its resolutions are meant to reflect the collective will of the international community and provide the legal and political framework for everything from conflict prevention to humanitarian access. Yet, the true measures of these resolutions lie in their implementation. When some decisions are pursued with urgency, while others are left to languish, we risk undermining not only the authority of the Council, but the foundations of multilateralism itself. Allow me to highlight 3 key points for our consideration. First, we must be clear. Consistent, full, and timely implementation of Security Council resolutions is not a technicality, it's a core test of our Council's credibility and integrity of the UN Charter.